to The Good, the Bad and the Odd, episode number 1. And this is your host Mark, and I'm joined by...
I'm Sam.
This week we'll be talking about stuff like what we saw, what we've been watching, on movies, TV, on websites, or what we've read, or what we've listened to. We'll be covering the top 5 most memorable movie deaths, and we'll be reviewing Tron Legacy. So we'll start with our first section, which is what we've been doing this week and what we've been watching and so on, and that is the comfy chair. Okay, Sam, have you watched any movies you want to talk about this week, apart from Tron?
I've watched a couple of films. Neither of them you probably won't know. Both anime films, My Neighbor Totoro and The Cat Returns.
Okay, who are they by then?
They're both by Studio Ghibli, I believe.
Oh, right, okay. I've never heard of either of them.
They're very good films.
Oh,
thoroughly entertaining.
You'd recommend both?
Yeah. I've also been watching an anime series called High School of the Dead, which is like a zombie sort of thing.
It's a bit like being at school, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I've been watching, for movies, I've watched Battle Royale.
Okay.
Which this is the second time I've watched it. I was a bit less confused the second time. The first time I found it quite hard to tell some of the characters apart, especially the girls, because apart from one or two, they all dressed very similarly and they had very similar haircuts, and it was dark a lot of the time.
They go to a school. They're in school uniform.
Yeah, well, that's true. I understand have you been reading the manga?
Yeah, I've been reading the manga. I got to about, quite near the end. It's 119.
That's a lot.
I finished at about 100.
Nice.
Just because it got too depressing.
Yeah, this is the movie is like you meet someone for 2 minutes and then someone dies. That happens a lot in the movie. It's an 18, so you won't have seen it, but it's like that. In terms of TV, anything. I've been having a bit of a Star Trek marathon.
Yeah, I joined you.
For some of it, you did. We watched some of the classics. Mock Time, the one where Spock goes a bit mad, has to return to Vulcan. Kirk ends up fighting Kirk to the death, which I enjoyed a lot. I like the music and just Leonard Nimoy just does Spock really well, even when he's being completely mental. He's still got some sort of dignity about him.
Yeah.
It's weird.
And also, psychopath, very dignified.
Yeah. And I watched Mirror Mirror, which is where Kirk ends up going to an alternative universe where it's very brutal. There's not a federation, there's an empire, and Spock is really rocking the goatee. He really is. You joined that.
Very obvious, different colour.
I'm pretending I didn't hear that. That was a real goatee.
Do you believe in that?
I think we both watched another one by any other name, which was one of the minor episodes with a race called the Kelvin, who can freeze people and turn them into little.
That makes me laugh.
Say again?
Kelvin.
The Kelvin.
They ran out of ideas there.
Yeah, but the good thing about that episode is you get all the characters doing what they do best. They basically have to corrupt these aliens into realising they're really human now because they've taken human form by stimulating them. Now, Scotty
stimulating with the finger quotes.
Yeah, we get Scotty getting one drunk. We get McCoy giving one some sort of stimulant that makes some sort of drug that makes them sort of hyperactive and start going a bit irrational. We got Spock really winding up the leader by just talking about stuff and just annoying him, and we got
playing that 3D chess.
Yeah, playing 3D chess and beating him as well. That must have done. Guess how well you saw it. Kirk has to stimulate the female member of the crew. Yeah, it's pretty obvious how Kirk would do something like that.
Yeah.
So we watched those. We also watched, and you joined me for that too, Yesterday's Enterprise from the Next Generation series. Now, I wanted to see this because I heard about there was a review on another podcast called Chin Stroker versus Punter. They talked about this episode, which is, as I say, Next Gen, but it involves like an alternative reality path, which is a bit like Mirror Mirror. And it occurred to me as I was watching Mirror Mirror, hey, this is like the one they talked about. So I wanted to go back and watch that too. That wasn't bad, was it? It was.
Yeah.
You realise when you watch the old series versus the old one's a lot more fun, and
I haven't really seen much of the next generation, so this is a sort of new thing you had to explain a few bits to.
Yeah, I did have to explain a few bits, but and also it was an alternative reality, so that doesn't help at all if you're not really familiar with it.
Really.
But Picard's the same kind of guy, isn't he? It's quite fun to see him getting indignant when Klingons start attacking him,
Yeah.
and he doesn't surrender, does he? So when they say ask him to surrender, that'll be the day, and then he takes them out. Yeah, that was quite good. Well, any good websites or videos you've seen?
No, well, there's this weird video of an old guy making animal sounds behind a news report, but no, nothing really.
No, that's what YouTube's for.
Yeah.
I saw a good fake trailer. Well, I think it was fake. George Lucas Strikes Back.
Oh yeah.
I showed it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. It explains
Brilliant.
a lot. Explains a lot about what's
Yeah.
going on. And you mentioned you've been reading Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I've been reading. I started a new series of Conan comics. It was. Yeah, when I started reading it, I did used to read long ago the Robert E. Howard stories of Conan, but after that I saw the films with Arnie, and once you've seen the films with Arnie, it kind of sets your mind that what Conan's all about.
Yeah.
But reading these comics again, it wasn't like Arnie's one. It was like the Robert E. Howard ones, and it's. After first, you thought, I don't think I can enjoy this. It's a bit too sort of serious and, po-faced. But I've kind of got into it now. I've read, I think, 6 or 7 of them. They're called Conan the Legend. It's very good artwork. It's written by a guy called Kurt Busiek and drawn by Carrie Nord. So I can recommend those, but I'm still reading them. I think there's 100 or 200 of them in all, but I've read the first few. That was quite good. How about books? Any books?
No, I don't. I tend to sort of read online fanfic more than I read actual books now. So
What are you reading about?
mostly Naruto, the anime sort of stuff.
Oh, okay. That's an anime. What's that about?
It's about a ninja from a village in some sort of alternate dimension where life force, you can utilize it, and it's essentially you can use it to become one of the 4 elements and lightning.
Right, 5 of them there. Okay. I haven't read anything. But I listened to all sorts of music. I've been listening to loads of old 80s stuff that I thought, I found this big list of 80s tracks to listen to it. And I was kind of disappointed because I always think, the 80s music's so much better than now, That's the way it is because that's my sort of era. But listen to it, so, there's a lot of dross in this as well. What can you do? I also listened to something you brought to my attention, the Nightmare Revisited, which is Nightmare. Sorry, go on.
Nightmare Before Christmas, all done by modern sort of metal groups, really.
It's gothy, isn't it? It's very gothy.
Very gothy.
There was a couple of tracks I like. What tracks did you like best?
I liked Kidnap the Sandy Claus, This Is Halloween, and Sally's Song.
Who are they by?
Kidnap the Sandy Claus is by Korn. This Is Halloween is by Marilyn Manson, and Sandy's Song was sung by Amy Lee from Evanescence.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one. I also like the Marilyn Manson one. That's by far the best track I've ever heard by Marilyn Manson. It really suits
It's
it.
the only track you ever heard by Marilyn Manson.
Now, I've heard a few, but only like 10 seconds of it before I switch it off. There was a couple of other tracks I liked. I didn't think much of the Korn one. It was okay. There was a track by Amina where they really use a good use of theremin there, which I haven't heard of theremin in a while on the track.
What did they do?
I can't remember. It was one of the early tracks. I can't remember what it was called now.
Okay. I'll look it up.
And there was one I really liked was one called the Town Meeting Song, but I think the band was called Polyphonic Spree.
Oh yeah,
which
that
just
song's
went on
great.
and on and on, but it was really good. Really quite enjoyable.
I love that song.
Oh, you like that one too?
Yeah, I like that song.
A lot of talking in it, but it was good.
Yeah.
And there was a track by the Yoshida brothers, which was like a mix of traditional Japanese plinky plonky kind of music and synths. It was quite good. I quite
Yeah.
like that. Okay, so that's what we've been doing. Is there any other thing you've been watching, reading?
I've really been listening to game soundtrack music, mostly Akami. Brilliant sound.
Nice. Oh yeah, what games have you been playing this week?
I've been mostly sticking to Mass Effect and Just Cause 2.
Yeah, that we were. This is an Xbox 360 house, really. We did some PC games as well, but mostly Xbox 360 and some PS2 as well. I've been playing. I just started Dragon Age Origins, one of the sub stories. I can't remember what it's called, but they're looking for a witch, basically. Witch hunter.
Witch Hunt.
Yeah. But I did just finish Splinter Cell Conviction, which I enjoyed greatly. It's basically coming out of
You want
shadows.
me to do half the hard stuff.
Oh yeah, I should. Well, sometimes it's come do this for me, you know. Okay, so that's what we've been doing this week.
Number 5 is alive.
This is where we have a top 5 on a subject, and this week we're going to talk about top 5 memorable movie deaths. Sam, do you want to start? What's your number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is Mufasa from The Lion King, the father.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something you don't forget if you watch it as a kid.
Yeah, it was quite tragic. He's a nasty piece of work, that Scar.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my number 5 is, I don't think you've seen this, it's the death of Hal in 2001.
Oh yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, when they shut him down slowly.
Daisy.
Yes. Did you get that from The Simpsons or something like that? Or
No.
did you actually come to it for real? Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about top scariest performances.
It is scary, but it's quite sad. The bit where he's actually been shut down, and you can feel he's kind of almost becoming more human as he's like shutting out his circuits, and then more childish. It's quite sort of moving in a strange way. A lot of people, I think 2001 is a Marmite kind of film. You either love it or hate it. I really, really like it, but I haven't seen it in years. But I remember the first time I saw it, I was about 14 or 15. And they were just showing it. It hadn't just come out then; it had been out for a long time. But they were just showing it to see. Oh, this is like before videos. I went to see it right away the next day because I really, really liked it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, it's your number 4.
Oh, my number 4 is Boromir from the Lord of the Rings cartoon film. Not a very well-known film, but dear Lord, the amount of arrows this guy takes to the chest. He's pulling them out in clumps.
And you prefer the cartoon one to the real one?
Well, I prefer the cartoon Boromir to Sean Bean's performance. It is a very good performance, but this Boromir just seems more badass.
Fair enough. Has he got like a Viking helmet?
Yeah, he's got this big Viking helmet.
He rocks the Viking helmet, great.
He gets knocked off about halfway through the fight, but he just carries on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really even remember that bit of the film. I have seen it, and I can't remember that bit of the film.
It's depressing.
Well, it would be. But it's good how he just carries on, doesn't he, Boromir? That's awesome. Right, my number 4 is another one you probably haven't seen, but you probably heard of. This is The Seven Samurai, and there's a number of deaths in The Seven Samurai that are kind of quite significant and moving. One, for example, that could have made me top 5, but I chose this one instead, was one where like the Master Warrior is fighting in the rain, and a gunshot rings out and he falls dead, and as he falls he throws his sword, and it's not clear whether he's saying that's the end of being of samurai as a class, that's the end of me, or he's trying to get to it's quite moving. But I didn't pick that one. There was another one. There's a character in it played by Toshiro Mifune, who's like he's pretended to be a samurai, but he's really a peasant, and they know it. But he wants to be a warrior, so they let him stay. But he's like the heart of the group. He laughs, he plays with the kids and all the kids in the village, and shouts and rants when he gets angry. Where all the other samurai keep cool. And his death is quite something, because he goes from being like this massive whirlwind of fighting, when suddenly he gets killed and he just falls down dead, and that's it. He doesn't move. There's no dramatic death. He falls down dead, face down in the mud, completely still. there's no build-up of drama or anything. That's it. He's gone, and all you see is him lying there. Yeah, it really is something. It's a real shock when you see it for the first time. Okay, what's your next one?
Okay, I'm sort of balanced here between Obi-Wan Kenobi's death and Darth Vader's death. I can't decide which is better.
Does he die even? Well,
I question whether Obi-Wan's actually dies, because he said, if you try to strike me down, I will ascend to be more powerful than you ever will be, or something along those lines. But still, it's still questionable whether he actually dies.
Yeah, he just disappears. Yeah, so you try to slip 2 in there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, very memorable. My number 3 has also got Star in the title, but it's Star Trek. Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan. It's the death of Spock. Now, the Wrath of Khan is judged by some, and I think I include myself among them, as like as the best Star Trek movie. And one of the reasons for that is this scene where Spock sacrifices himself to save everyone. And he does it willingly, and he says it's logical, but you know that he's not doing it for logic. He does it because he wants to save his friends.
That's really depressing. I've seen the last bit.
It's a kind of a celebration too. So, and the scene after it's kind of sad, isn't it? It's his funeral. So
it's playing Amazing Grace on the bagpipes.
Yeah, good old Scotty. Okay, what's your number 2, isn't it? Number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 is the Kong's death in the original King Kong.
That's my number 2.
Oh, well.
That's okay. Yeah, go on.
No, I've got another sort of supplement that I consider my number 2, which is the giant... Well, the technical name for it is the Vistatosaurus Rex, but it's the big T-Rex clone in the new King Kong. The final death in it.
Oh, is that where it's tied up?
It's sort of... They end up falling down this colossal cliff.
Yeah.
And it starts chasing Anne up on this bank, and then you just hear this loud thud, and Kong's just there.
Oh, nice. You think that death's significant too, the T-Rex?
You'll remember it.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why Kong was famous, because the original Kong was famous because it had this huge gorilla fighting a T-Rex.
That's true. That was an awesome scene as well from the whole film. But no, I think the original Kong really, really stands out. It's amazing, that it was a puppet, and it still elicits a very strong emotion it's been kind of the bad guy for a lot of the film, but in the end you feel sorry for King Kong.
I can remember when I was younger just sort of asking you what his backstory was. So like Godzilla he's a mutated reptile, Mothra's a god. What did you say? He's a puppet.
I must have been feeling bad that day or something like that. Well, he is a puppet though.
Yeah, but still, I was like 5 at the time, so...
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'd just like to apologise. Okay, well, that was both our number 2, so let's see if we got the same number 1. Number 1 for you?
Mine is the T-850 in Terminator 2, Arnie's character.
Oh, good one! I never thought of that one. That's an awesome one, yeah.
Oh, shame, it's mine.
Yeah, go on.
But, the thumbs up, it's sort of sad but sort of triumphant at the same time. You sort of know that, you hope that everything's over.
That's the
but
end,
they made Terminator 3, so...
Yeah, and 4, wasn't it? Yeah, I have to say I found the thumbs up a little cheesy, but I enjoy it. At the cinema, everyone's cheering away. It was it's still a good moment, and it's definitely memorable. I don't know why I forgot it, but there you go. Okay, my number 1 is from Blade Runner. It's the end of Blade Runner, where one of the replicants, which is Roy Batty, is fighting Deckard, the Blade Runner that's hunting him, and he actually saves Deckard from falling to his death, and then has a famous speech, which I'm not going to try and quote because I'll just mess it up. And the original's so good it doesn't deserve to be ruined by me. But I think that's probably the most memorable death in the movies, in my opinion. But he does finish with the words, "Time to die." Okay, have you got any honourable mentions? What else was in the running?
I've got a few here. One's the Kyle Reese, I believe his name is, in Terminator 1.
Right.
I've got Lenny from Of Mice and Men, which is...
Oh, that's a good one, yeah. Does he die?
Yeah,
I
he
don't
gets
remember
shot
that.
at the end.
Okay, yes.
Vader's death.
Yeah.
And the death of Optimus Prime from, well, either the newer film or the old one, because both have quite significant impact.
Yeah, I think the older one's better.
And just shock value.
Yeah. Is that any others?
Yeah, that's it, really.
Okay, I've got a few others. I also consider... In fact, I could have had a list of 20 here, really. So I'll just run through these quickly.
You kept gloating about how many you had.
It was one... Quint in Jaws, who dies right at the end, being eaten by a big rubber shark. That was quite a shock. I can tell you, when that film was out, it was an A, which meant children could go and see it. And seeing the guy getting eaten to death and blood absolutely everywhere was quite a shock. But yeah, us kids loved that. I tell you, we didn't go swimming much after it, but we loved it. The next one was the chest burster in Alien.
Oh yeah,
First Alien. Wow. There's even quite a good version of it in Spaceballs.
Oh yeah.
I've got the Wicked Witch of the West. Yeah, all that power, all that, magic she had in her hands. Couldn't stand a bit of water. She couldn't have been very hygienic. Another
She
one
was green. What did you?
Yeah. Is that why she was green? Okay. The Iron Giant. The end of the Iron Giant.
Yeah. Well,
great.
he doesn't really die.
No, he doesn't. So that's why it wasn't in my top 5. But it was a great film and a great ending. Sorry. The shower scene in Psycho was some death. It probably is actually. We've gone through all this, and everyone kind of knows that, don't they? I suppose. Yeah. There's a few others. There's Randy Quaid's death in Independence Day, where he flies the bike in. I'm back, boys, or something like that, isn't it?
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah. Mr. Creosote in The Meaning of Life. I'm not sure you've seen it, but basically he's enormously fat, and they give him one more wafer, and he explodes. I like the death. I don't know the character's name actually, but I like the death that's caused by ED-209 malfunctioning in RoboCop when he starts saying, "You have 15 seconds to comply." That's pretty funny. Hans Gruber falling out the window in Die Hard. I actually had a note about Boromir in the Peter Jackson film as well, as you. And Sam Jackson, after giving a great big inspirational speech in Deep Blue Sea, that was something else.
Oh yeah, I remember that scene. It's just,
yeah. So we got 2 shots.
Dead.
We got 2 shots in our list,
Yeah.
and my last one is the. Again, I don't know the name of the character, but the disappearing pencil trick in The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. I think he's just Thug.
Yeah, Thug 1.
Thug 3.
Right, okay. So there's our top 5 memorable movie deaths. Okay, so we'll go now on to our film review.
There can be only one.
Right, today we're going to review Tron Legacy. Main actors in it are Jeff Bridges, Michael Sheen, and a few others I don't really know, to be honest.
If you haven't already seen it, go watch the Tobuscus Tron Legacy literal trailer. It's funny as all.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really funny.
Okay. This film was directed by someone called Joseph Kosinski, and I looked on IMDb for this, and he's not directed a film before. I don't know how he got the gig. This must have been a big important gig for Disney, but anyway, he must have had some sort of form. But there you go. The plot. We'll try not to do spoilers, especially around the end. But there's a major thing which is kind of a bit of a spoiler, but it's so significant through the film we can't really avoid talking about it, which I'll come to. The synopsis is it's Sam Flynn, which is the son of Flynn, who was the sort of lead character in the original Tron. Goes to his old...
I haven't
father's...
seen the original, by the way, so
You
I
haven't?
came into this
Okay.
no knowledge. Just, it was about computers.
Yeah, I saw the original when it came out, which was 28 years ago or so. And I did watch it recently before seeing Tron Legacy.
Man.
But this is the second time you saw Tron Legacy this week.
Yeah.
Was this week, wasn't it? And this is
Yeah.
I've only watched it the once,
Yeah.
and that's all I intend to watch it.
It wasn't
Anyway,
that bad.
Sam Flynn, the son of Flynn from the original Tron, goes to his father's old office after there's apparently a bleeper message sent from it, and he gets sucked into the cyber world where one of his father's own creations called Clue, and that's the spoiler I was referring to, because Clue looks exactly like Jeff Bridges but much younger,
But CG.
so yeah, we'll come to that, where there's gladiatorial games going on. He manages to escape and he's trying to look for his father. That's all I'll say about that. Okay, what did you like about the film, Sam?
I liked the light bikes, the disc battles, the music. Everything was impressive. The whole city just looked... Wow. It was really...
It was absolutely fantastic. It looked brilliant. We watched it on a Blu-ray that was very sharp, but I bet at the cinema it was really something else.
It was something.
You saw it in 2D though, didn't you?
Yeah,
it was out
I
in
saw it
3D, so
2D.
we don't know how they'd really compare. And I can't say usually when you watch a film that's made for 3D, when you're watching it in 2D, you usually can think, oh yeah, that's the bit that's supposed to be 3D. They're trying to be clever about. But I didn't really notice that in this film. It was all quite impressive.
Yeah.
I found in terms of how it looked. So yeah, I agree with you there. Any other standouts?
No, not really. Sort
You
of
said the
subtle
music.
Daft Punk.
Yeah, the music was really good. Daft Punk did the soundtrack, and it was really exceptional. I think I might get the.
I don't know if it's a reference, but they're in a club at one point, and I believe that the DJs at the club are Daft Punk.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, you told me that, so I assume they are too. That's what you mentioned as we were watching it. I also really thought Michael Sheen as Castor, as a character called Castor, was really
he's
good.
called Castor at first, then Zeus. Which
Yeah,
is confusing.
he's that's a spoiler. Oh well, never mind. He's really good. He's very pantomime, isn't he? But it really suits the film because everything's a bit
He's
turgid
funny,
and
but
down.
creepy.
Yeah.
It's like the Joker. He's funny,
I was
but
thinking that he
creepy.
could have made a good Joker. Not that Heath Ledger wasn't excellent as the Joker, of course he was. But I was thinking this guy could have made a good Joker out of this because he was scary. Yeah. What didn't you like?
I didn't really like the villain. He just wasn't that good. All his motives just sort of seemed around kill people. That's really it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
villain was
that
Clue, who was Jeff Bridges in a different form. And I've got a note.
CG.
I've got a note saying why exactly is Clue like Hitler? That was why. That's why, because he seemed to be completely different character from Flynn, his originator, and it was really unclear why. I think a lot of the motivations were pretty bad, and I just found the fact he was like a CGI Jeff Bridges made to look younger, but it wasn't. They were trying to make it look absolutely realistic, so you thought it was Jeff Bridges, 30 years younger, but it didn't quite work, and that really sort of took me out of the movie every time there was kind of a close-up of him, because you're thinking, they really haven't done this very well, have they? If they'd have made him less realistic, more like, this is
Tron.
obviously... Yeah,
Sort of thing.
it would have been less distracting, but I just thought they hadn't quite got the CGI right. I understand, the Polar Express they had.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of people didn't like Polar Express because they found it kind of creepy because they weren't quite realistic enough.
They
And
were sort of disturbing.
well, there you go. And I think this suffers from that. But that wasn't the worst thing about it, in my opinion. The worst thing was the dialogue and the story was just pretty bad. It was, the action sequences were the best, by far the best things about it, and the design were by far the best things about it. And when there was action on the screen, it was great. But when it started trying to get to heavy story and dialogue, it just did not work at all.
Apart from really the actions between Flynn and Flynn, but
Flynn and Clue, you mean?
no, Flynn and
I
his
see
son,
what you mean.
both Flynns.
Do you think that worked? I just didn't. I mean, the son, I didn't think he was very good. I think they could have cast someone much better. He kind of looked like a cross between. Well, he looked like a very young Val Kilmer kind of thing.
Yeah,
Do you think?
sort of.
Yeah, but he just wasn't. They could have picked someone better. They could have got someone with a bit more personality. I think the film needed to be larger than life. I think Michael Sheen got it right by being sort of pantomime. And Jeff Bridges was sometimes okay, but sometimes even he was sort of swallowed
As
up by the
Clue,
green
he
screen.
was quite good.
Say again?
Lack of motivation aside, Clue was quite threatening, especially
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
his
actually,
henchmen.
you're right. If I hadn't seen his face, it would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just found, I have to say, Sam Flynn, the son, was just he had it was a personality vacuum there. Really, it was not much. The actual direction, I mentioned it was the first time direction. I thought was quite good.
Yeah.
And the editing was fine, and it all flowed very well. In fact, the other good performance was by Cora.
Yeah.
Who was played by Olivia Wilde, and I thought she looks really familiar. And I looked on IMDb, but she hasn't done anything I've seen. She has done work, but nothing I've seen before. So I hadn't seen her before, but she just kind of looked familiar. But she handled it very well. I'm wondering if young actors are likely to embrace green screen work more than older actors, because Jeff Bridges wasn't quite coming through.
Yeah.
Martin Sheen was. Sorry,
Well,
Michael Sheen. I keep saying
Michael
that.
Sheen is.
Michael Sheen did come through because he was being pantomime. But I think Jeff Bridges was trying to be a bit too subtle to suit all that was going on around him.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but basically the CGI was really, apart from Clue's face, the CGI was just really spectacular. Really spectacular. Do you think it set out to achieve what it was trying to be?
Well, yeah, it's set out to do quite well and reintroduce the grid, and I think it did quite well.
Yeah.
It sort of seemed to try and update the grid for modern generations, as opposed to that sort of weird white rocky place that it was. From what
Yeah,
I've seen.
I mean, I looked on IMDb. Apparently, it looks like they may be considering a Tron TV series, which in the right hands could be brilliant, or it could be awful. It depends. It's a bit like Lucas's Star Wars, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I think when they get the right people involved, some of the episodes of that are meant to be really good, and others are meant to be pretty awful. And I should imagine Tron will be the same way. I think it just about succeeded as a summer blockbuster popcorn movie, but nothing else really.
Yeah.
I've watched it once. I don't really think I'll be watching it again anytime soon or at all. And it entertained me most when it was on the action and not on the characters and dialogue.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Apart from Michael Sheen, it was entertaining. Yeah. What would you give it out of 100?
Out of 100,
Yeah, if 100's are like the best film ever, and
between
0's the
40
worst.
and 50.
Really, that low?
Yeah, 40,
I-
50, 60, that sort of area, within 20.
Okay, I thought it pretty. I didn't think that much of it, and I'll give it 55. I think. I checked the IMDb rating, and it got 7.0 out of 10 from all the votes. So it was like 70. It's the sort of consensus on it. So you'd say what would you say? 45.
I'd say between 50 and 60, probably.
50 and 60, and I'll say 50. Oh, so we'll say 55. Yeah. And would we recommend it?
Recommend it to people that like Michael Bay films. No one else, really.
That's about right, I suppose. Yeah, I think it's okay as a
Although
one-off
that's a
watch.
bit harsh to the film. It's quite good. But
Yeah. I'd say the action and CGI and the music really make it worth seeing. I think you just got to ignore the dialogue and the story. It was a PG, but I thought some bits were a bit strong
No, I thought
for
it was
smaller
12.
children. No, I checked it. It's a PG.
It was 12 when I was in cinemas.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I thought they degraded it, but that was on the rental copy. I don't know about the buy copy. I think sometimes they can be different. Yeah, I'd say that's a rental, not a buy, really. So there it is. Okay, then I think that's the end of this podcast, and we hope to bring you another one next week. Goodbye.
Bye.